Hey everybody, my name is Josh. I'm a producer here at Tested, and I've got some gaming stuff and some production gear for my favorite things of 2024. Now, if you don't recognize me, it's because I'm usually behind the camera. I shoot and edit many of the videos that we make here at Tested. But if you do recognize me, then you might recall that last year I was about to become a dad. And sure enough, about 3 days after I shot my favorite things video, my son was born. So I hope you'll indulge me. Let's get the new dad stuff out of the way here. This is the Steam Deck OLED. Guys, can we do something about the glare? There it is. Look at, that's the day I brought him home. What a proud papa. I'm actually by myself right now. So this little device did a lot to keep me sane over the past year. I picked it up in January, and in those early months when the baby's waking up at odd hours, he also wanted to sleep on my wife or I and not in his bassinet. So it was nice to wake up in the middle of the night, give him a bottle, let him go to sleep, and then load up a game so I didn't fall asleep while he was sleeping. And honestly, I look back on it and it was pretty nice. I can think of worse things that would happen to me at 3:30 in the morning, but that's for a different video on a different channel that should never exist. This is also the first device that I've had with an OLED screen, and the difference between that and a normal LCD screen is incredible. I mean, the colors are richer, the blacks are deeper, and the contrast ratio is so much higher. Somebody that has to pay attention to image quality for a living, that matters a lot to me, and I think it'll be hard to go back to a normal LCD screen, not only for a handheld, but my next TV, my next monitor. I mean, yeah, currently my TV is a Sony Bravia from 2012, so maybe I'll upgrade it next year. Besides the screen, the battery life is great, the performance is great. That plus I get access to my entire Steam library. All of those things made it a really easy sell to treat myself at the beginning of the year. But hey, I'm not here to review it. I'm just here to tell you that I like it. If you want to see a review, check out Norm's video from last year. He did a really excellent job covering all the details of this fantastic little device here. The only thing I'll say is that I sprung for the 1 terabyte model, and that is far and away too much for how I use it. I don't think I'm even approaching half, maybe not even a quarter of the actual storage space on here. It's not that I regret it. I just don't use it. But the reason I don't really use that much space is because all year I've basically been playing one game, and that game is Balatro. Balatro is a single-player roguelike deck-building game based around the rules of poker, and it exemplifies the idea of easy to learn, difficult to master. Still, I mean, I think I've put around 180 hours into the game this year, and I still pick it up at the end of almost every day. It really is one of those addicting, but relaxing, but challenging, but pull your hair out kind of stressful that I love to end my days with. Maybe if you play Balatro, that's funny. Now you'll need to play poker hands, everything from high card to royal flush. And as a deck builder, you can play illegal hands as well. Like you could stack your deck with jacks, for example. But win some blinds, earn some cash, you can visit the shop and you can pick yourself up some jokers. And this is where the deck builder really starts to come to life. So in the shop, you want to pick up jokers that do all kinds of hand modifiers. They'll multiply your hand. They will allow you to make straights with gaps. For example, like 10, 8, 7, 5, 3 could be a straight. I am only scratching the surface of this magnificent game. Do yourself a favor and pick it up. It's available everywhere, including on mobile now. I'm just gonna finish this game real quick. Okay, a couple more production things that I can't really have here on the table. One of them you're listening to right now, and that is our new Lav kit. These are not new technologically, but they're new to us. And this is a Sony dual wireless system. So it's a very usual setup for us to have 2 speakers on camera. And what that means for me is that I've got to have 2 transmitters on each speaker, and then I've got 2 receivers mounted to my camera. I prefer to shoot handheld. I really get claustrophobic if I'm on a tripod, so I like to be able to move around, but of course that comes with some weight considerations. And I know, one of these little lav receivers doesn't look like it weighs a lot, but you multiply that by in the course of a shoot day, and it really, every little thing helps is what I'm trying to say. This is an upgrade to what we were using before. It's the same kind of thing. It's just now it's a dual receiver. What I'm wearing is the mic that I usually give to Adam. So it's the exact same quality as we had before. You just get that smaller form factor. It's easier on me. It's less kit to pack, and they sound great too. Tested has been all over the place this year, and in my ever-evolving quest to create my perfect road package, I want to talk about this light right here. Pardon me. So this is the IntelliTech Lightcloth LC160. It might seem big and heavy here because I have it on a proper C-stand with a sandbag, but this thing is super light and super compact. It actually all fits into this little case right here. There, that's better lit. I don't even bring this case unless we're staying really close to the office. Everything that you see right here, I actually just pack it in my carry-on with the camera. That's how small everything can get. I highly recommend this light if you're looking to slim down your gear footprint but keep that professional quality high, unlike what I'm doing in this shot. But yeah, that is the IntelliTech LC160. That's it for me this year. Thank you so much for watching this video and for supporting Tested. Have a great holiday season, and I'll see you next time. You guys still there? You want to talk about some board games? Let's go talk about some board games. This year, I haven't been able to play in the hobby as much as I would have liked, but I did manage to pick up a couple things, and the first is a collection of wallet games from Button Shy Games. The first one is Rove. In this one, you play as a marooned Martian rover. You're not on Mars, but some kind of alien planet. And basically, you arrange a module of cards on the table in a grid pattern. And every mission, you need to arrange that grid to match the pattern that's on the mission card. You do this by spending movement points, and each of the module cards move in a certain way. So it's definitely a puzzle element to it. And every mission that you solve, you stack the next mission over it, and you end up with this pretty cool story component where you get to see, what the journey of this little rover was, and it's pretty cute. The next game I picked up here was Sprawlopolis. This one is a city builder, and I think this one's pretty popular. This might be one of the more popular Button Shy games. The way this works is you draw a few scoring condition cards, and these all influence what you need to do in order to score points with your city. So you you draw a rule set, and then you're building your city in order to satisfy those scoring conditions. Again, so this one can be played co-op. I've only played it single player. It's pretty cool. I mean, I do like having I do like that it's a city builder on a table. Scoring the actual city can be a little tedious. I suppose you could try to do it as you go, but things change as the city is sprawling. Anyway, I do think this game's a lot of fun. The next game I picked up here is called Unsurmountable. In this game, you are assembling a base camp and then drawing cards from that base camp in order to build a mountain with a path that goes all the way up to the peak. That's the win condition. You can use those cards as the terrain, basically the illustrations that are on the cards, but they also have an action element to them that allows you to maybe flip a card 180 on the mountain. So let's say your path is kind of going to a dead end. Well, maybe if you 180 a card, you can connect it all back up again. I would say this game is a lot more difficult than it sounds, and I think it is so creative in that they have essentially balanced the difficulty of the game through the illustrations, through the artwork that's on the cards. Rarely do you see that kind of game design and art integrated with each other, and I think that's super cool. The last game I picked up here is called Skulls of Sedlec, and the reason I picked this up is because I've actually been to the Sedlec ossuary that this game is based on. Don't Google that unless you like seeing cathedrals made of human skeletons. This is a two-player competitive game in which each player is battling the other to create the highest scoring stack of skulls. So basically you're taking the cards, you're each building a pyramid of skulls and then scoring points based on based on what the skulls are and how you've arranged them. So for example, you might have some royalty. Well, royalty wants to be at the top of the skull pile and have the peasantry underneath them. Prisoners want to be next to priests, and lovers want to be stacked adjacent to each other. Now, each player shares a graveyard, which is basically the skull pile that you're pulling the skulls out of. And there's some cool things you can do. So you can reveal a card, but you don't have to pull it. And then that lets your opponent kind of see what else is available. And then I can look at my opponent's skull pile and say, well, hey, maybe this double prisoner card would really benefit them. They're going to score a lot of points if they get that. So I'll take it and try to block those points. This is probably my favorite of the 4 games that I picked up. The theme of it is so grim and cool, and I just really enjoyed this one. All right, my one big board game purchase this year, not that it was that big or that expensive, but it's the game that everybody seems to be talking about, and that is Arcs. Arcs has a lot going on. There are elements of trick-taking. At times it feels like Risk, like that sort of grand strategy. It feels like a space opera. There are moments where you feel like an admiral conducting a large wave of ships on an invasion, and other times where you feel like a pirate. Maybe you feel like a bureaucrat or a spy master. All of these things can be done, and you can wear all of these hats in the same turn even. This is a game that consistently defies what you think of it and redefines itself as you learn it. And it should absolutely collapse under the weight of its mechanics, yet it is the exact opposite. The mechanics actually work in concert to add pathways to success. People say that you should play this with a good group, and I would say that's true because this is a game that rewards creativity as long as you're willing to be cruel. So basically in a round, you're going to have a hand of cards, and these cards allow you to perform certain actions. Now, strategy in Arcs is really limited by these cards. If you have the cards in that moment, you need to jump on it, and damned be anyone who's in your way. Overall, I'm just so impressed and enamored with this game. It's got this addictive quality to it that really makes me want to get it to the table over and over again because I think it would be so fun to be good at it. And right now, I've only scratched the surface. Okay, everybody, that's it for me for real this time. If you want to see some more board game videos, then head over to our newly launched Tested Team channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for supporting Tested over the past year, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for watching, and I have a question for you. Who doesn't love stickers? Nobody doesn't love stickers, that's who. And that's why at Tested we have released this mega sticker pack full of 11 of our favorite stickers, and you can buy it right now to adorn your toolbox, your notebooks, whatever you want at tested-store.com.